Why does each XRP coin cost $20, 0 cents? Levi, yes. How much does Ripple pay you every day to show XRP? I've talked about XRP since it was worth 48 cents. So the answer is no, you can shut up. I'm going to talk about a lot of important things today, and one of them is how I think XRP will soon beat Bitcoin on the charts, just like we saw in November. Please remember that this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing how I see the markets for fun and to teach you. Now that that's out of the way, let me talk about what's going on, why I think XRP will beat Bitcoin, and what you can expect in these markets based on the information we have access to first. For the first time, the gap between US 5-year and 30-year bonds is now 1%. People who don't know what's going on thought that the Federal Reserve would cut rates 5 times this year. Now it's maybe twice as often. It's clear that 5 cuts are very different from 2 cuts. This means that trillions of dollars won't be printed as much, which means that trillions of dollars won't be able to flow into stocks, cryptocurrencies, or real estate as easily. This is because the market will have less liquidity. There are still some very interesting things going on, like faster growth and higher prices, which means that a lot more people will want to use Bitcoin. Recently, we saw that these factors caused the price of a Bitcoin to rise above 110,000 and even hit 111,000. It stays above that level because people want to protect themselves from inflation and keep their coins safe so they don't lose value. Gold, Bitcoin stocks, XRP, and other coins are also good investments because a lot of money comes in for them. Bitcoin prices go up, hit some really nice highs, and then slowly go back down. That's how crypto works and how that market works. And today you're going to learn something that will help you understand that. With that said, it's possible that Trump wants a recession. Why would someone want the economy to get worse? It's something the government would want to happen for a number of reasons. Firstly, it will help them bring down prices. Secondly, it will cause treasury rates to fall. Third, the trade imbalance will go down due to tariffs. Fourth, it will allow the federal government to lower interest rates, which is something he obviously wants. Finally, it will bring down the price of oil, which is a good thing that makes the world, let's be honest. So if all of these things happen, Trump wants pretty much everything right now. People will invest in risky products again. If we're in a recession, I think gold and Bitcoin will once again be the best investments right now. Having said that, I think it's a good idea for us to see Bitcoin right now. Make sure you rock it. There's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know when the government will lower interest rates because of taxes. We don't know what will happen to the U.S. economy because we're living in the past, and we don't really know what inflation will look like. So people are hedging their bets by saying things like, it's fine, I'll keep my paper dollars. I know Trump wants to weaken them, I'll hold on to them, or I can put them somewhere else where I know Trump won't try to weaken them on purpose. Gold, I think this gold is worth a lot because of XRP and Bitcoin. XRP will do well in this direction. I've talked about this a lot, but I haven't really given a full and clear report. Also, let's remember how the price of XRP changed in November. In November, XRP was selling for 40 to 50 cents per coin. Then it went up very quickly and reached almost $3, 0 cents per coin the following month, which was only 30 days later. But it's important to know what happened with Bitcoin before this happened. So I'm going to scroll back up to November and look at the same time period. We can see that Bitcoin had a big move right before XRP went up. It's clear that Bitcoin was very cheap in October 2023 when it was only worth, it started at $26,000, 0 cents per coin, and went up to $70,000 per coin over the next year, all the way through 2024. Did XRP see any of this growth? No, it didn't really. If we look at XRP's price, we can see that it pretty much stayed the same during that time, except for a few days when Good Decisions in the SEC case sent it up 18%, but it would always drop back to around 48 cents and trade at $50, 0 cents. However, XRP finally took off near the end of the year after Bitcoin had been selling at these high prices of $70,000, 0 cents per coin for about 6 months. Around the same time in November, Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, and other altcoins all went up. Usually there are two big runs up during altcoin bull run seasons, one at the start of the season and one in the middle. In short, this is what we saw from November to January. The price goes up, stays high for a while, and then drops by about half. We hit a high point at 335 and then fell well below that at 165, the bottom, and are now ready to rocket again. It looks like Bitcoin is now at a new all-time high, and people who are making money with Bitcoin will want to put that money somewhere. What is the next step that makes sense? You should look at the best altcoins, which are the ones with the most changes and stories that are interesting. I think that what whales do all the time, and I have a lot of proof to back it up. As I said, whales are getting ready to do this, and I'll show you guys soon. With that being said, I want to quickly remind everyone that if you want to learn how to trade and make money, you can join my crypto trading group and see all of my deals. My trades have made me more than 260% in the last 60 days. And if you join for free, you can see every trade I make and every trade I sell, as well as my full trade history and all of my positions. Click on the link below to go to Crypto Crusaders. Now let's talk about whales and other things. It's also funny that CZ said he felt bad for people who sold Bitcoin for $77.00 each. I'd like to tell you a story. Some people said that the price of Bitcoin at $77.00 each was the high point of the bull run. That's it. There will be no more events. There's no way that the price of XRP will ever go up. I lived here for 2 years and made movies all the time. Now, one XRP coin is worth more than $2.00. It's now almost $2.50, which is a lot more than that. It's gone through the roof, which means that a lot more XRP will be sold, right? It is one of the most traded cryptocurrencies, even more so than Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you want to trade XRP with a lot of other people, while that is a good sign, what the whales do is even more important. This is where smart money is going. And we can see that XRP whale action shows that the market is very confident. In the last 24 hours, whales have moved more than 640 million XRP, which shows that the market is once again moving upwards. They're trading and getting ready. So it's clear that smart money is moving around. Smarter investors are slowly putting some of their Bitcoin gains into altcoins like XRP because they're getting ready for the next step. It's kind of like a cycle. First Bitcoin pumps, then XRP pumps, and finally the smaller caps pump, right? That just keeps going around in circles, and you should get off the hype train once you understand these patterns.